Getting ready to go truck racing at Martinsville. We've raced here every year of the series' existence, all 28 years. Pretty cool place, Michael.
It is. Let's look at our Camping World track description. You can see just over a half-mile in length. And where those 12 degrees of banking is, I have no idea. I raced
That's
here
the flattest 12 degrees I've ever seen.
25 years, and I felt no banking. This place is symmetrical. I think both ends drop basically alike, and you don't see that a lot in NASCAR.
Let's take a look at our race analysis. You see the length of the race is 105 miles. Stage 1 and Stage 2 are 50 laps apiece. Our final stage, 100 laps. Don't expect everyone to run to the end of that second stage to get points and pit. They will try to pit before the end of that second stage and position them for that final stage with track position. They can go as many as 135 or 45 laps.
Starting lineups brought to you by Blue-Emu, and they are set by the Nemechek as qualifying was rained out earlier this afternoon.
There's row 2, a couple of my guys. I'm going to go up against Kyle Busch with you fellas. Stuart Friesen, great short track racer.
Christian Eckes, too, a winner last year. Strong out there this year.
A couple of guys that really need some good runs. And there's old Matt Crafton. His buddy Johnny Sauter is going to start in the back of this race. Hadn't raced since Daytona. Let's see if we can get a word with Johnny. Hey, Johnny, Michael Waltrip and the Fox team. Do you copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, first of all, it's awesome to see you back. You've won 4 times here at Martinsville. What's it going to take for you to get up through this field? You're starting out back.
That's an understatement. So, I don't know, Bud, Joyner, and the guys, everybody at ThorSport built us a brand new truck here, and obviously got a little bit of work cut out for us, but it's a good racetrack for me, like you said, and yeah, just play our strategy right, see what we got. But looking forward to it. It's good to be back.
Well, it's good to have you. You and Junior have a good time, and we'll talk to you later.
10-4, thanks.
Check in one more time on pit road before we go green. Regan Smith.
Vince, it hasn't necessarily been the start to the season we expect out of Matt Crafton. Struggles in some of these races. He starts in 11th tonight. He told me that he is sick and tired of getting run over on the racetrack. Feels like every race at the beginning of the season, somebody has run him over and ruined his night. He is going to use tonight as a tone setter for the rest of the year. Don't mess with Matt Crafton tonight, Josh.
Well, Stuart Friesen was a lap away from making the championship 4 here at Martinsville last fall. He gambled on a move that didn't pay off, found himself wrecked and on the outside looking in. Stuart says he doesn't let that stick with him anymore. He says sometimes you gotta gamble to try and win big. Well, they have the same truck that ran well here last year. Stuart's finished top 10 here. He's won stages here. He's won a pole here. So he is confident the 52 team has what it takes to take this thing home tonight.
Well, Josh coming off some good runs, 3 straight top 10s for that 52 bunch in Friesen. Some special onboard perspectives tonight.
How about this look from the bumper cam? This is
it.
Grant Empinger, the champion Power Equipment Chevrolet. Grant's going to start back in the 12th spot. We saw him below the cut line on the playoff standings, so he needs a good run here, Michael.
He's heading to pit road. Check his pit road speed. You can see those lines across pit road. That's how the drivers, NASCAR clocks the trucks over those lines, and the drivers have to match their tachometer to the maximum speed as Grant rolls down pit road. John Hunter Nemechek, another racer that's carrying one of our onboard cameras as we look at Grant working the tachometer, looking down on it. There's a shot from the Mobile One Toyota cam of John Hunter Nemechek. He's going to start in the 5th position. A little bit of congestion over there getting off pit road, but this is an awesome picture. I tell folks all the time, as a race car driver, I feel like I'm in this truck. This is a great perspective for you to see what it's really like for these guys to do battle on this tight little half-mile oval.
Well, some would be surprised that John Hunter Nemechek is one of those out of the Kyle Busch stable that has not got a win yet this season. 2 KBM victories, one of those belonging to Chandler Smith, one of them belonging to Corey Heim in the 51 truck. And through our 4 races this season, Zane Smith's won the 2. We've got 2 out of KBM, but not John Hunter Nemechek and not Kyle Busch. So I'm going to take one of those 2 tonight and give you guys the field.
See, here's our winners from this year. As you mentioned, Zane with the 2 wins. There's Chandler, Las Vegas, and Corey Heim gets his first career win at Atlanta. John Hunter Nemechek did get his season on track Dakota a couple weeks ago with that runner-up finish, so he's on his way.
Trouble for the 66.
Well, that's 2 races in a row, right? Because at COTA, they had a problem before they could get going. You see they're going to make a battery change. Hopefully it's going to take care of it.
Well, you know, we didn't have any practice earlier today, so they would have caught this issue possibly had we have been able to do that. But it looks like they changed that out, and Ty's rolling He's another short track ace from up in Wisconsin. He's going to be a handful if he just can get that truck squared away.
You know, he won the Snowball Derby, one of the biggest short track races we have. We have 5 former winners of the Snowball Derby in this field.
That is incredible. That is a prestigious short track race for late model racers all across the country. Head down to Florida and try to get a Snowball Derby victory, and 5 of them. That tells you where our young talent's coming from, the short tracks all across America.
The first of 4 short tracks for us this season, and we'll go to IRP, Raceway Park in Indianapolis, late July, Richmond in August, Bristol on the concrete in September. Of course, we have a couple of dirt races on the short tracks at Bristol and Knoxville coming up. We'll be at Bristol next.
Remember, no practice for these guys. Not 1 lap of practice for any of these Truck Series guys.
Zane Smith will start on the inside, 2-time winner this season. Kyle Busch, 61 wins all time on the outside. Green at Martinsville.
That didn't take long for the action to heat up. Ben Rhodes dives hard into turn 1. He's going to clear Kyle Busch on that inside.
We talk about this racetrack being so inside dominant. When you can make some time on the outside is right after a start or a restart, like Stuart Friesen was trying to do. Now in that blue truck, he's going to back in behind John Hunter Nemechek.
And Vince, at some point you just got to say it's not worth it right now. We don't want to, they're on low air pressure on their tires. We don't want to upset the tires this early in the run. So you just have to cut your losses sometimes, roll out of the gas and get to the bottom.
Great look from that onboard from Grant Enfinger, just how close the racing is here at Martinsville.
Do we have this camera insured, Vince? Because I don't feel great about this.
What's the chances of the over-under on it making it to the finish?
I'd say it's 50-50
at best.
There is Enfinger in that 23, making his move inside of Tyler Ankrum. Enfinger, former winner here, and as Phil mentioned a little while ago, currently below the cut line. One of those guys that's not getting the finish that matches up with his running position. Been running much better than he finishes.
Well, another guy that's in that category, you mentioned him, Vince, is John Hunter Nemechek. If it weren't for stage victories and points, he would be in deep, deep trouble, but he's going to be fine because of all the speed that they have in that Ford truck.
Yeah, it's hard to believe Nemechek finishing about 11 positions worse than his average running position. And there you see John Hunter in that 4 truck and Stuart Friesen moving to the inside.
Strong early for the 52 of Friesen. We saw him at COTA a couple weeks ago with a chance to win that race. I love the fact that he went for it. Didn't work out for him, but he looks good tonight.
Matt Crafton's been working over that 16 truck of Tyler Ankrum hard, trying to get that position away. He's making some progress.
Good bite off the corner there for Matt Crafton.
Some of these guys a little nicer at this stage in the race than they're going to be late in the race in that final stage.
Oh yeah.
You might give a guy a break at this point, but you're not going to give one late in the race.
No, that's for sure. There's no, we used to say this is about give and take. It's all take now. There's no give.
There you see Tanner Gray in the 15 looking on at this battle. He's just wanting Matt Crafton to finish this pass off so he can try to work over that 16 truck.
How about Tanner Gray? You know, his average finish last year, 22nd. That's him there in the 15, as Mike mentioned. Currently, his average finish, 8.5, as you see Jack Wood involved in the 24. And the 44 is Chris Wright. Wright driving away, but definitely some contact and some damage.
More damage.
Significant for Jack Wood.
Was talking to his guys down in the garage area. Just so needed a decent run here for Jack Wood. That's probably not going to be terminal, but.
Well, you don't know what's going on under the hood. He could have gotten into that radiator. A lot of damage to the front, but as long as there's no water streaming from it, should be fine. Like you said, it's not enough damage, but man, look how stoved in it is there in the middle of the front.
Yeah, and the very bottom there, right above that splitter, that flat black piece, is where the air intake is into the radiator. Obviously, the ductwork's going to be all destroyed, and so it could be an issue for him.
You feel like you put the best truck you can, bring them out of the shop, all finely tuned, just knowing what lies ahead when you come here to Martinsville, all the carnage that exists.
See if we could get a look at where it starts. Chris Wright just got around.
Looked like he just see his black marks there, just too much gas up high on the racetrack.
Right in front of Jack Wood. Jack had absolutely nowhere to go. Bam, you see the contact right there.
Well, what a tough break for Jack Wood, who's, you know, he's a rookie trying to get off to a good start this season and He's got 3 of the 4 races he's finished outside the top 30. Just cannot catch a break for the youngster. First caution of the night here at Martinsville. Just 10 laps in. Back at Martinsville, little Thursday night under the lights, short track style for the Camping World Truck Series, the Blue-Emu 200.
How cool is that to say, Vince? Thursday night, short track racing under the lights at the iconic, historic Martinsville Raceway, kicking off a great weekend of NASCAR racing. Regan, what's happening with Kyle Busch in the 51?
Michael, good break. That early caution was for Kyle Busch just now. He had no communication with the team. They couldn't hear him. He could not hear them. Quickly, he switched to radio 2 or the backup radio. Everything's all good now.
Wouldn't it be more fair for the competition if he couldn't hear the rest of the communication?
Maybe start a lap down. That might help the competition.
But what about the way Zane Smith just put him away early? Drove off to a big lead.
On this restart, that's Ben Rhodes on the outside, Zane Smith on the inside. Kyle Busch and Stuart Friesen, row 2.
Stewart with a nice run around the top. See if Ben can get down. He does. I guarantee you Stewart's not going anywhere other than trying to get up beside Ben Rhodes.
You can hang out there for a lap or two.
And a caution is back out as the 40 has slowed down on the front stretch. That's Dean Thompson. You'll see him on the inside there.
Probably have a good break for Stuart Friesen, though.
The ignition or under the hood? It's coming from the engine bay.
Man, that's a shame.
Yeah, tough break for that group out of the Nice camp.
Yeah, that's a really fine looking truck too. I was looking at it in the garage area this morning, and they had a lot of high hopes for this 40 and Dean Thompson. Unfortunately, something's amiss.
That's the second Nice truck to have issues.
You want to take him straight to the garage, or what do you want to do here, guys?
You see only a handful of Truck Series starts.
Is that fire?
Yeah, a little fire inside the cockpit, and he's going to climb out. Gives us an opportunity to remind you about the Cup race here on Saturday night. You'll see it right here on FS1. Under the lights here at the Paperclip, Martinsville. All the action, 7 o'clock Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Remember, that Saturday night. How about that? 3 straight nights of racing here at Martinsville. We've got the trucks tonight, Xfinity tomorrow night, and Cup on Saturday night. Xfinity did qualify earlier today, and Ty Gibbs scored the pole position, his 3rd straight pole.
Phil, have you ever been able to communicate with the record driver that it sounded like that you thought you both spoke the same language?
No.
I mean, everything that you wanted done, they were the opposite of it, it seemed at times.
I mean, the driver was trying to tell the truck driver the thing's on fire. The truck driver, maybe he didn't believe him, or I'm not sure.
Now he's going to get in the safety truck. Just a rough start to this night. Dean had such high hopes, and now his truck's on fire.
AMR safety crew, and you see that flame still burning inside that cockpit area.
I know they have plenty of fire extinguishers around here.
Let's get after it.
You'd think they'd be using one.
You would think so.
And now just taking a look and realizing that they got a little bit of an issue.
You definitely have to take all the hood pins out, though, before you can open.
Well, you don't have to.
Well, he was trying to overcome
courteous.
it.
It's courteous. A courteous move. Zane Smith, he's been out front almost the entire way.
Race fans, Jesse Punch here live from Martinsville Speedway. I'll be here all weekend long bringing you updates from pit road under the second caution of the day right now. And let me tell you, no driver was hoping for that caution more than the 24 of Jack Wood. Unfortunately caught up in an incident early on in the race. Some heavy damage there to the front of that truck. Was able to bring it in immediately because of that second caution to continue to work on the damage. And talking to the crew, nothing too serious to worry about other than now track position. Fortunately for Wood, though, he is the only rookie in the field that has experience here at Martinsville. He ran this race last year. So, a young 21-year-old hoping to lean on experience as he restarts this race in the back of the fields. Keep you updated from pit road. Enjoy the race.
Back at Martinsville under caution, Dean Thompson came to a stop, couldn't get going after that restart, put a little fluid down on the track and had a little fire underneath the hood. So they've gotten that 40 truck off into the garage area.
We saw right before the caution came out, Stuart Friesen was on the outside. He was able to get by Kyle Busch, and obviously he was ahead of Kyle at the most recent timing line when the caution came out. So he's going to restart here in third.
Well, that's some radio from the 18 of Chandler Smith.
Slide the rears, it's not necessarily because I'm losing front turn. That side slide is just more of a turn really good. Just lose a little bit of lateral grip. Turning really good.
Sweet. That's what we're going to want later.
Longer run, these guys are out to lunch. We have a long run.
Wow, that's confidence. Don't you love that? And that young man is matured to the point where he's pretty confident with what he says and does behind the wheel.
That was 3 reallys. It was really good.
And would you rather, Phil, as a racer, have that truck turning really good or accelerating straight up really good? Which one would you pick if you had to pick one?
I think I would want to turn good, because I can modulate that throttle up off the corner, but I need that thing to go the other direction.
I like that, and he loves it. So that's interesting. That'll be fun to watch, to see when it come choose our lane. Do we want inside or outside? We want inside, but what do we want to gain if we go up top? I'm not so sure Stuart Friesen, if Ben Rhodes goes low, Stuart won't go high and get on the front row.
Coming to that choose zone area as you see Zane Smith go to the bottom and Rhodes to the top.
It looked like Stuart was ready to go to the top if Ben Rhodes would have chose the bottom.
You know, you mentioned the maturity of Chandler Smith. Hard to believe under those circumstances, just 19 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, already seems to have a command of what he wants and what he needs. Second year in the series, and he better be mature. He's married, got a baby on the way.
That's right.
Just found out it's going to be a little boy, so happy for them.
Yeah, I know. I saw he won the race on Friday night in Vegas, and I saw him Saturday morning with he and his bride walking through the casino, and I said, "How's it feel, winner?" He said, "It's pretty good to be me right now, Mikey."
It's kind of your normal response, isn't it?
That's the way I feel.
Pretty good to be you. Isn't it? Well, let's see if we could string together some green flag laps. Zane Smith and Ben Rhodes out front. Smith has led them all so far.
Matt Benedetto in that blue and white 25 slid high, but he gets it back in line. He's picked up some 10 spots here early.
Boy, Ben really drove it in there hard, trying to clear Stuart Friesen. Didn't quite make it yet.
Friesen taking a peek on the inside and now pulls up door to door with that 99 of Rhodes.
The longer we go, it's going to be tougher for that outside line to keep up with the inside line.
And Ben's trying to squeeze in front of Kyle. Kyle says, "I'm not having any of that."
No. And Chandler Smith, another KBM truck behind Kyle, probably not going to give Rhodes much of a break either. Little contact it looked like there between Kyle Busch and that 99 of Rhodes.
Awfully close, but little incidental contact possibly.
You know what's interesting now, Vince? They'll race side by side with the truck on the bottom staying low, but as the laps wind down, the bottom truck will just keep inching up higher and higher to crowd someone out of the way.
Infinger. Watch this restart here for John Hunter Nemechek in the 4 truck.
Boy, missed a gear right there, didn't he? Granted.
Take a listen to it. Go on board with Nemechek.
On tight in front. Side 98.
He missed that 3-4 shift there, didn't he?
Still there, 98.
Look at all the ground he loses from that mistake as well. Now he's under attack by Derek Kraus.
It's a battle for the 8th position. Nemechek has 8th.
That's Infinger, former winner here at Martinsville in front of John Hunter.
But how alert was Grant Infinger when he was right behind that 4 truck and it didn't go?
I love these views from on board, listening to him work the throttle. Listen how low the RPM gets in the corner.
Infinger got off to a tough start, finishes outside the top 20 the first 2 races, and has come on a little stronger the last 2, 13th, or excuse me, 12th, and then 10th most recently at Coda. Just still outside the cut line.
Yeah, sorry, Vince, just over 60 miles an hour, Michael, down in the center of the corner.
What about Willie B in the 7? He's following Johnny Sauter. They've got Haley Deegan stuck up on top. A little bit of contact there from Johnny.
Byron sees the door open up and takes a peek, but not going to be able to make the move as Sauter shuts it.
What about Johnny Sauter? He watched William Byron come in as a teenager and go off and win cup races, and Johnny says, "I'm a short tracker, buddy. You're going to have your hands full dealing with me." And Johnny gets the move down low.
William won 7 races his only season here in the Truck Series. Moved on to the Xfinity Series and won that championship.
Well, what a great year that was for William Byron, wasn't it? His rookie year in the trucks.
Right up to Phoenix when the truck had an issue under the hood and didn't get that championship. but we were able to identify, and that's what I love about the Truck Series, Phil. We get to see,
Sauter using up Haley Deegan.
Check out inside.
That didn't look very normal.
Deegan's got a tire rub now on that left front and some damage on the right side as well, where she got into the wall.
Yeah, she didn't do anything wrong. She just was racing down the front straightaway, and he squeezed her up.
Now he has his teammate Ty Majeski, who had issues before the start. Restarted from the back of the field because of those issues.
Watch this. Let's see if we can figure out what happens here. It looks like Johnny just decides he's moving over, and that's not fair.
It's all the way back for 22nd. Byron narrowly avoiding it, diving down to the inside. Ty Majeski following. Watch it again.
There's a lot of damage to Haley Deegan's truck right there.
Yeah, I'm afraid she needs to pit because that left front tire can't stand that much rub without blowing out.
Well, that's really unfortunate for Deegan. 3 straight finishes outside the top 30. She really needed a good run tonight and doesn't look like she's going to get it. Zane Smith has led them all so far tonight here at Martinsville.
Race fans, Jesse Punch here live once again from pit road at Martinsville Speedway. We just saw minor contact there in the back of the field between Johnny Sauter and Haley Deegan. The 7 truck also in the mix there. That is the 7 of William Byron, one of 2 Cup Series regulars in the field tonight. Byron not having raced full-time in the Truck Series since 2016, his only full season in this series, and that was actually the last time he raced here at Martinsville in this truck. So a lot of work for him ahead tonight, the Cup Series regular, but that 7 truck of Spire Motorsports is in good hands tonight with William Byron behind the wheel.
But do we really care?
Welcome back to Martinsville. Camping World Truck Series. Under caution for the 12 of Spencer Boyd, who lost fuel pressure.
Got some takers on pit road, Vince.
Kyle Busch, and he is not alone. Chandler Smith with him as well.
It's interesting with all these caution flag laps. I didn't figure the tire wear would be that great. I'm a little bit surprised seeing these guys come to pit road. We'll see how it plays out. We obviously know if they can pit right before the stage ends, they want to do that to take advantage of the guys that pit after the caution flies for the end of the stage. Regan.
Michael, you're exactly correct. That was part of the plan for Kyle Busch in the 51. Right now, that truck is on the edge of being loose all the way through the corner. Just feels like he's got a guard against the back of the truck stepping out, and the 18 of Chandler Smith needs just a little bit more grip on the corner exits is the main thing with that truck.
Well, you saw that wrench go in the back end of that 51 truck of Kyle Busch, so making a chassis adjustment, trying to give him a little more security. William Byron there in the 7 on the right-hand side. Matt Crafton came for service.
That 7 truck was hauling too. He looked really good early in this race. But this is one fun thing about stage racing. It gives these crew chiefs a chance to mix up the strategy, try to maybe make some ground on pit road that they couldn't make on the racetrack. And look at all the takers we had coming to pit road. And one thing you got to make sure that you don't do is make a mistake and speed during this caution.
Like the 88 of Matt Crafton just did on that stop?
Yeah, because
fast entering.
You know, your strategy is based around track position, and he comes in and speeds and gives that all away.
And what these guys, they realize that Kyle Busch, Chandler Smith, everybody that pitted, more than likely the front of the field is all going to run to the end of the stage. More than likely come in then, and they're going to get some of that track position back.
Ben Rhodes been up inside the top 5 all evening. Radio from his camp.
Have you been using your lever or the knob? 3 rounds to the front with the knob. 10-4, you know you have your lever in there also, correct? The lever up is going to reduce rear pressure. 10-4, well, that's exactly what I needed. It's like you have a crystal ball, so I'm going to play with that now.
It's just brake balance. You know, we saw John Hunter's Nemechek's brake rotors, both front and back, glowing. That's the most I've seen glowing in the back for a truck here, I believe. But the decision there was Ben Rhodes is saying, I'm loose in, I'm having issues with my braking. And Rich Lucius has said, this is how you're going to fix it. Use your lever. And you know, the driver's job is to know what all those buttons and switches inside that truck do. And I'm sure every now and then, though, in the heat of a competition, you need a reminder.
I used to have an arrow, which way it went to the front, which way it went to the back.
Crafton, by the way, not the only one penalized. The 30 of Tate Fogelman over the wall too soon. Oh, how about it next weekend? Easter weekend. It's going to be extra special. Going to have some racing, all 3 series. NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and the Cup Stars on the dirt at Bristol. Joey Logano will be in the truck race. We're looking forward to that.
Winner last year.
And Cup.
Yes, no Xfinity, right, exactly.
He was pretty good on the dirt a year ago.
Yeah, he was. In the Cup race, he certainly was.
You know, we said Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, those are going to be the stories. Joe Logano says, not so quick.
How about our truck race? Martin Truex Jr. dominated that truck race.
And I would expect to see maybe another big name star or 2 in that truck race with us at Bristol, along with Logano. So look forward to that. But we got plenty of action here tonight. Zane Smith. How about Zane Smith? He led only 29 laps coming into this race and had won twice with only 29 laps led. And tonight he is dominant so far. Well, Kyle Busch came to pit lane and led many along with him. He restarts 15th.
I'm going to be interesting to see as these guys battle down into turn 1. If anybody stays out at the end of this stage, Phil, we haven't had that many green flag laps. Some of our leaders might say, I'm going to make this a one-stop race and stop at the end of stage 2. We'll have to see what happens.
Or maybe even before the end of stage 2. They know they can go about 120 or 30 laps. They haven't really got a good feel. We haven't run enough laps to see how much fall off they're going to get in the tires.
Side by side, Eckes and Nemechek.
And you also want to, I think everybody would agree Kyle Busch is the favorite, right? Even though Zane Smith is putting the field away early on. So you want to be on a different strategy than him, I believe. And that's certainly how it's been set up so far by Kyle coming to pit road.
I was really a little surprised that Kyle came to pit road as well as Chandler Smith. The guys towards the back of the field I understood, but I was a little surprised those guys that far forward came to pit road.
Maybe an opportunity to get some adjustments done to your truck if you felt like you weren't happy with it. You were going to be out there for a while. We'll see if Kyle continues to make his way back up through the field in these final couple of laps here in stage 1.
We saw the 45 of Wallace Allen just
big
dead
wiggle
sideways from Kyle Busch. I don't know if the 42 of Carson Hocevar got into him or not, but the 45 of Wallace Allen just drove by Kyle Busch.
And Lawless is having a great start to this race. He's up in the 12th spot. Make that 11th. Dueling there with Honeycutt in the 46. But that's great for this kid early in the going.
Final lap of stage 1, and Zane Smith, who won here last fall, is taking care of business with his 3rd stage win of the season.
That was a clinic, wasn't it? I mean, wow. Straight up dominated stage 1.
He's already won twice this season. And he's just getting started here tonight. The stage 1 winner at Martinsville. Back to the Blue-Emu Maximum Pain Relief 200 here at Martinsville Speedway. Zane Smith, the winner of stage 1. He led all 50 laps. He has been out front from the drop. And interestingly enough, the top 3 at the end of stage 1 with Zane Smith, Stuart Friesen, and Ben Rhodes, also the top 3 in that same order in our last race at COTA Championship Circuit of the Americas.
That's a trend, Vince.
I think it is. As you see our stage 1 points. Impressive run, Derek Kraus, Tanner Gray, another solid effort. Chase Purdy in there.
Okay, pit road's open, guys. Let's see if anybody decides to stay out and run a little bit later. Here, Zane Smith's going to lead the parade. Ben Rhodes is going to stay out, though, isn't he?
We've got
Rhodes
some
and
takers.
Eckes staying out. Friesen is coming. Nemechek coming. Enfinger. Josh Sims is there for Friesen.
Yeah, and Stuart Friesen says he feels a little too tight on the entry of the turn and loose on the way out of it. They won't make any adjustments, just going to get 4 tires for Stuart Friesen, who finished 2nd in the first stage. Regan?
John Hunter Nemechek is too loose on that restart that we just had a moment ago. Had some brake shake as well as wheel hop. That went away, but a little concerning on the early laps for that truck. And the 38 of Zane Smith right now is too tight when he fires off. The truck is very sensitive. If he gets to the gas too quick and too hard in the corner, it's sensitive. It gets even tighter yet.
Some ill-handling machines out there, and if you're only going to get a couple of stops and cracks at it, you better make sure you make those right adjustments.
You talk about brake shake, and a lot of times brake shake will be because you're getting too much air. They're too cold, but you wouldn't think that'd be a problem here at Martinsville, having brake shake because your brakes are too cold, would you?
Brake, shake, and boogie.
Under the lights at Martinsville. What a great area. Love racing here. Plenty to go for the trucks. Back at Martinsville, Camping World Truck Series racing here on FS1. Zane Smith pitted from the lead. He will restart 17th. An assortment of penalties. Dylan Stoyer, Caden Honeycutt, both speeding. Chase Janes, safety violation. Chris Wright, uncontrolled tire.
Tate Fogelman had something go wrong as well. He was setting on front straightaway, and now he's catching up.
Ben Rhodes and Christian Eckes for this restart. That's Rhodes on the inside. Stage 2 underway.
Remember
Kyle Busch
and tires.
Yeah, Kyle Busch and Hocevar right behind in row 2. And Mike, you like Kyle Busch's position here, right?
Yeah, his tires are perfect. They've warmed up just enough with that little sprint to the end of the stage, so he's in good shape. But we haven't seen him have the speed so far that we saw from Zane Smith, our leader. And you can see the 98 of Eckes. Christian Eckes is able to hang right with Kyle there.
Yeah, Eckes and Rhodes have yet to pit.
I like that strategy. Only probably 25, 30 laps, green flag in that first stage, would you say?
Yeah.
Carson Hocevar is on the same plan as Kyle Busch. He pitted just before the end of the stage, and now he's battling his way inside of Christian Eckes.
I think a lot of these drivers and crews would love to see the caution come out around lap 80 or 85, and they would do it then. They would early pit then and then be done for the day and have that track position over those guys that run for second stage points.
What about Matt DiBenedetto down on the bottom of the 25 truck? He's making a nice run earlier. And there's William Byron. You keep an eye on the 7 truck. He's got a really fast machine. Remember Majeski, he was in trouble with the start of the race. He's battled his way back into contention.
William Byron has been racing a variety of different types of vehicles this season. What do you think of him getting another crack at it here in the truck and some of the other stuff he's doing?
I think he's won every time he jumped in a super late model. I think he's won at least 3 or 4 times.
Saw Alex Bowman in the truck at Coda.
Finished second.
Yep.
We saw him early in the show with that big battle with Stuart Friesen and Kyle Busch, and ended up finishing second.
Wow, did you see that big block Majeski threw on Chandler? Chandler says, I'm having none of it. Got to the inside right behind William Byron in those black trucks.
Remember how good he talked about that truck turning, that 18 truck.
Ty Majeski needs a good run. We talked about that battery change he had to make at the beginning of the race today, and he's all the way back up inside the top 10. Solid effort out of the Thor Sport camp. Really happy for Majeski getting a full-time opportunity. As you see Chandler Smith give him a little tap.
He got to the inside, but Ty Majeski got a great run off of turn 2 and took that spot back. You know,
when you have a truck that turns great, sometimes it's hard to accelerate straight up off, pitching it down under another truck. I think that's what happened to Chandler there. As you see, Majeski's been able to drive away and start put a little pressure there on the 25 truck of DiBenedetto.
We all thought we would see solid runs from Majeski and DiBenedetto tonight, and they are not disappointing, threatening the top 5.
I think if you heard Chandler Smith, and if you talk about a truck that turns great, it's just going to get better and better lap after lap. These trucks have a tendency to want to slide the front end in the corners once the tires get a little air and the heat in them. And so if he's got a truck that he can combat that with, he will be strong in the long run.
Yeah, they start these tires so low of air that it looks like they have flat tires, especially on the left side. But as the tires build up air pressure, then they're to right operating pressures, then the truck really takes off.
Caution is out. Down in turn 1, Spencer Boyd.
I don't know how to keep it running. I'm trying to come up with a plan.
Well, it's the second time they've had an issue tonight.
Yeah, it won't run. It won't refire, man.
Well, that's a dangerous spot to have a problem.
What a heads-up move by Matt DiBenedetto, giving Ty Majeski room. I'm sure his spotter said, hey, you've got a slow truck on the inside. And he could have really put Majeski in a compromising position, but he moved up and gave him room.
What do you think, Phil? I don't think we got any takers from, I mean, you got Ben Rhodes, Christian Eckes up toward the front that didn't pit at the end of the stage. I think it might be a little early. They might try to run this thing to the end of the stage. Rhodes was comfortably leading Can they make it?
I like stopping now. I like stopping now because we talked about going 135, 145 laps. We're 129 laps to go, and we know we're going to get at least 8 or 10 caution laps at the end of the second stage. I think all these guys are in their window now if they wanted to chance it.
Stop here and
no
stay
more.
out the rest of the way.
And no more.
Yeah, we're not hearing of significant tire wear, so that doesn't seem like that would be an issue. And if they got enough fuel to go to the finish, not a bad move.
We heard during a commercial break after the end of the first stage that Jeff Hensley was talking to Matt Crafton. He said, hey, we might not even stop anymore, period. He said the tires are not falling off and they look great.
Hailie Deegan, I just wanted to update. She is in 21st position. That damage she suffered with that contact with Johnny Sauter didn't end her night, nor has it ended Johnny Sauter's night. He's all the way up in the top 10. That 13 truck is rolling, Vince.
And his teammate, Ben Rhodes, in the 99.
I'm overslowing some of these corners initially because I have to get on the brakes so early to calm the truck because I can't modulate the pedal. So I'm kind of just fighting something going on there. The left front is bouncing real bad when I do get to the brakes, so I'm just kind of fighting like an uneasy truck.
Fighting it with the lead. I like that.
Yeah.
Fighting it with Kyle Busch on your bumper, though, is not quite as relaxing.
No takers up front, Phil.
No.
He had put a few truck links on Kyle Busch, Vince. He had driven off a bit. They had also gapped Carson Hocevar there in the 42.
Well, we anticipate this is going to be a tight one tonight, right down to the finish. Typical short track racing, and that would be no different than any of the other 4 races we've had this season.
Eckes comes up the block. The white flag is out, and now the yellow. NASCAR overtime at Daytona. Kligerman gave a good shove to the 38 of Zane Smith, and he takes over the lead. Who was so close to winning it in regulation. This time he does indeed get it done. Taking a look up top.
Oh, and the crossover.
Over inside. Chandler Smith back to the bottom for the lead. He has done it. Chandler Smith in Las Vegas. Goes to the bottom. Getting some help from John Hunter Nemechek, new leader. And Corey Heim wins in Atlanta. It's all 3 of them together.
Zane Smith on the double speed winner's gonna go to P1.
Zane Smith wins at Circuit of the Americas.
Whole lot of Smiths in the first 4 races.
Good to be named Smith.
Wow, what talent these young racers have. It's just been so much fun watching Zane, bounced around a little bit during the offseason, wasn't really sure of his plans, and now he's won 2 races already and cemented himself as a championship contender. And then there's Chandler, just gets it done week in, week out. He loves his truck. Be fun to follow along.
He's won 3 of our last 9 races, headed back to last year.
Ben Rhodes in that 99 truck has yet to pit, and the 98, which is restarting 2 rows behind him, has not pitted either. They are the only 2 that have not come to pit road tonight. On this restart, that's Rhodes on the inside, Kyle Busch on the outside.
Great launch by Ben Rhodes. He's able to get away from Kyle on entry.
We heard Ben on that radio talk about the uneasiness of his truck. We'll see if he can keep Kyle back or if Kyle Busch can get up front and take the lead.
Look at that blue truck on the outside, Vince.
William Byron charging in the 7, getting around Hocevar for 3rd.
That's impressive. He's had my eye since the start of this race, making moves on the inside and the outside. Look how low he's able to drive up off that corner and close in on the 51 of Busch.
You've sold me on the 7 of William Byron, Michael.
Hocevar going to school, learning from these Cup winners.
Majeski and Chandler Smith. Majeski in the 66, Smith in the 18, fighting for 6th with DiBenedetto right behind him in the blue and white 25.
There's our friend Johnny Sauter. Rushed up Hailie Deegan a bit earlier in the race. Had some damage into the wall, or into Deegan, but he seems to be good.
Sauter started at the tail end of the field tonight, and he is inside the top 10.
Right behind him, the guy that led the entire first stage, Zane Smith, that 38 truck.
This is when you really find out how good your truck is, Phil. You don't have that fresh air on your nose. You've got to go down. You don't have a clear view of the racetrack. You got to make sure you go down there and make some moves.
Lawless Allen bringing out the caution. Boy, it's been a tough night for the Nice guys.
Well, sure has.
He's run well, though.
Right here. Not over. We're good.
Carson Hocevar carrying the banner, though, up in the top 5 for Al Nice.
Seen more speed out of Lawless tonight. I don't know how he got turned around. Looked like maybe some damage to the left rear tire, possibly just somebody had a nose in.
Another one of those racers out of California. Several of them in the Camping World Truck Series. Getting a little help. Bringing out the caution. Pit stops. Regan Smith.
Vince, the 7 truck of William Byron, their strategy said they need to pit now if they want to have a shot to win the race. Right now, pretty good with that truck. Needs just a little bit of help from the center off of the corners in the 51 at Kyle Busch. He's been fighting a loose race truck, very descriptive about the left rear of that truck. Can't get it grip the way that they want. You see him putting what appears to be a spring rubber in the left rear right there, taking a little bit of extra time.
And you know, Vince, this race is short. And so if you don't like your truck, you better fix it now because it'll be too late later on. Get that pit stop made. Even though he just pitted 15, 20 laps ago, he wanted that adjustment, and he needed it right now in order to think he's got a chance to win.
And if they fix that truck, he's in as we know he can go to the rest of the way. So he and William Byron and everyone else that came down pit road are good to go.
Ben Rhodes still has not pitted in that 99. By the way, others besides Kyle Busch and William Byron that pitted, Chandler Smith, Matt Crafton, Stuart Friesen, Johnny Sauter, all came to pit road there.
I think barring something unforeseen, those guys are all done for the day on pit road.
And was that swing the advantage maybe over to someone like William Byron, who's currently down in the 20th position, knowing when another 16 laps when the stage ends, he won't be coming to pit road. He's going to inherit a bunch of positions.
And how about the strategy of Rhodes and Eckes, who have not pitted yet tonight?
I would go to the end of this stage, just tough it out, and then know that I got 100 laps thereabout to get it all back.
And they've laid their bed now. There's no sense coming in if the caution was out in 5 or 10 laps. Run to the end of the stage, get those stage points.
Zane Smith won stage 1. Rhodes got his eyes set on stage 2.
Carson Hocevar's got something to say about that.
15 to go, and they take the green here in this second stage. Hocevar on the outside, Rhodes the inside.
Phil, I just love the way they're able to launch. Do you see that nose up in the air and the throttle wide open and the tires are gripping? That was a great restart by the 99 of Ben Rhodes.
Yeah, Vincent really had every restart has been good for him, as well as it was for Zane Smith early on.
ThorSport, 3 of the top 4 with Rhodes, Eckes, and Majeski.
What about Colby Howard in that 91 slipping in to the top 10? That's Taylor Gray in the black 17. Haven't talked about Parker Kligerman. He's always going to be up near the front, and he is again tonight.
For second, Hocevar and Eckes with Majeski keeping them company. Zane Smith right behind in that orange 38, filling out the top 5. Rhodes still out front, and he's gapped Hocevar by about 0.7 of a second. Oh, three wide at Martinsville. And William Byron says, I think I'm going to take this spot.
And he knows that. He knows he's 3 wide, and he knows he's on the inside, so he gave them plenty of room.
A little rubbing for second.
Wow, that's precision driving, isn't it?
Buddy.
Majeski taking a peek.
Oh. Said, all right, teammate, I'm going to cut you a break there. But look at the truck right behind them. There's Zane Smith in that 38. He's pitted at lap 55. I'm going to be interested to see if the stage ends, he comes or stays.
With all the caution laps we've had and will have, I'm not sure that he can't make it from there.
I think he can make it. Just be a matter if he thinks these tires will go away in that last 100 laps.
Boy, that side-by-side battle for second continues. Hocevar and Eckes. Finally, Eckes puts him away. Now we'll see if Majeski, yes, he's going to challenge Hocevar. Now, and a little bit of slide from Hocevar in that 42.
Right now, our top 2 runners have not been to pit road yet in this race.
Inside.
Was that a little bit of smoke from the 38 truck? I don't know what that was from. Oh, look how sideways off the corner Majeski is.
Well, that door just opened up for Zane Smith, and he just moved right through it, taking advantage of the opportunity to get side by side with Majeski for that 3rd spot.
Majeski's hanging tough, though, on the outside. You see him pinch Zane Smith down, not letting Zane move him up out of the way.
That's for 4th as Smith takes it away.
Look at this mess Kyle Busch is in.
Holmes in the 32.
Right behind.
Crafton just ahead of him in the 88.
Johnny Sauter trying to come along with Kyle, but man, heavy traffic, and just now cracked the top 20, Vince. That's how competitive truck racing is. A little bit of strategy play, and he's back there racing. You see just ahead of Crafton, Haley Deegan there, and look at Majeski blocking down, trying to hold off to Benedetto.
Right now, there are only 2 trucks on the racetrack that pitted at the same time that Kyle Busch did. So John Hunter drives it down the inside, said, I'm here. If you want to come down, it's at your own peril.
And let me just tell you, it's only going to get worse. That's the way the race is going to end. People just diving in and trying to grab spots by using that bumper.
And Nemechek did get the spot for 5th. Phil, we talked about it at the top of the show. It's going to be full contact racing tonight, and by the time it's all said and done, somebody's going to have their feelings hurt. Haley Deegan had some of that contact early in the race with Johnny Sauter. It's been somewhat amazing that Deegan's been able to continue to stay out there and remain on the lead lap. They did a good job repairing that truck on both the left side and the right side, but now Kyle's wearing her out a bit for position.
Kyle gave her a little bit of nudge about a lap ago. Let her know that he was there and he wanted through.
And here comes her buddy, Johnny Sauter, who roughed her up earlier in the race. See if they can work this out.
Johnny's going to give her a lot of room this time.
He's got a competitive truck as well. You see Stuart Friesen, another one of the trucks is on a different strategy.
Remember, as we are under 5 to go now, just 3 laps left here in stage 2. Rhodes and Eckes have yet to pit, and right now they are running 1-2.
And laying down some lap times.
We have 3 or 4 of our top trucks that pitted on lap number 55 at the end of that 2nd stage. I'm really curious to see if any of those guys roll the dice, stay out.
What about these runs here? Derek Krause, Colby Howard. See Kyle picking off another spot, got around Austin Wayne Self. And And everywhere Kyle Busch goes, Johnny Sauter follows along. He's making good progress as well.
Well, if you're going to follow somebody up through, I'd say that'd be a good choice as Rhodes crosses the line. 1 to go. Final lap here in stage 2.
Remember, Chandler Smith came to pit road on lap 81 along with Kyle Busch.
Open a green checker here.
And he's a couple spots ahead of Kyle Busch and Crafton.
Ben Rhodes going to lock up stage win number 3 this season. It's been an impressive run for Rhodes. Runner-up a couple of times this year. 4th most recently at COTA. The defending series champ. Stage 2 winner at Martinsville. Two stages complete here at Martinsville. Welcome back. The Blue-Emu Maximum Pain Relief 200. Ben Rhodes is in his pit box, and Josh is there.
Ben Rhodes making his first pit stop of the race. Says he's been fighting an uneasy truck. Says the left front is bouncing a little bit too much, and he's had issues with the throttle, but he is your stage 2 winner, so otherwise he's happy with his truck. Christian Eckes happy with the way his truck is driving as well. In the 98, says he has some of the rear brakes locking up. They'll make a slight air pressure adjustment, and that's all. Regan?
Carson Hocevar, that truck wasn't as good this run for him. Plenty of drive off the corner, but could not get it to turn the center. And Zane Smith in the 38, his brakes are very spongy right now. A little free into the corners with that truck, but the brakes are his biggest issue, he told the team.
Well, and Hocevar had a problem there on that pit stop, the 42, had to back it up. So some issues for some of those running up toward the front. You see they're taking tape off. They put tape on, now taking it off the 42.
Man, this has really mixed up the running order. William Byron on those differing strategy. He's assumed the lead, Phil. That truck's been really fast. We talked about that. I wonder what William's thinking.
Let's see if we can ask him. Hey, William Byron, Phil Parsons and the boys up in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, Phil, I got you. Good to hear from you.
Well, good to have you back. Welcome back to the Truck Series, and this is how you did it back a few years ago when you won so many races and led so many laps. Got to be a lot of fun for you.
Yeah, it's a blast. It's just thanks to Mr. H and Spire for letting me do this, and yeah, it's been fun. I got great crew chiefs and Bono and Rudy, so they're doing a great job in there, and the truck's been good so far, just trying to get myself up to speed and know where my visuals are, so it's been fun lately.
Well, great pit strategy by Bono and the guys to get you this lead here past halfway.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was kind of the plan. Obviously, we're not after the points, and we had a pretty decent start to the race. It was pretty crazy back there, but good to be up here now.
All right, buddy, you've been fun to watch. Finish it off.
Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, the free pass on this caution at the stage break goes to the 15 of Gray. They had had a pit gun issue on their previous pit stop, so he had gone a lap down. And the 38 of Zane Smith speeding on pit road, Mike.
Yeah, that's a shame. He said he had brake issues, and when you bury yourself deeper into the field, it's only going to make your brakes worse, more heat in the brakes. See if you can see if he's in a bit of a race off of pit road. And he just gunned it too far. That last little section bit him. Now he's going to go to the back. It's not over, but man, it's a long way to go to the front.
Makes it a lot harder, doesn't it? The USFL is almost here. Players fired up, ready to go. Just 9 days away from the start of this innovative new league. The inaugural season kicking off April 16th. Battle between the New Jersey Generals and the Birmingham Stallions. It's going to air on both Fox and NBC. The USFL.
That's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Spring football?
Yeah, I like it. The Birmingham Stallions.
Just past the halfway point in this one.
I like
William Byron and Chandler Smith will restart up front.
Yeah, I like where William is, and it's cool to see Matt Crafton and Johnny Sauter, a couple of veterans. They got 21 top 5 finishes between the two of them here at Martinsville and 6 wins.
Yeah, Sauter running that part-time schedule, but looks quite at home here at Martinsville. Started at the tail of the field, and he is on row 2 for this restart, taking us into the final stage. Byron in the 7, going to the front.
Matt Crafton fills that hole that William Byron opened up.
Oh, and there's significant contact, and that's the 46 of Caden Honeycutt making his series debut with some significant damage. I think Dylan Stoyer was involved in that in the 20 truck as well. A couple of youngsters making their first truck series start.
Yeah, Caden runs the Cars Tour for Barry Nelson. Was runner-up in the points last year in the Cars Tour with a couple wins.
And Stoyer is a dirt racer from the Northeast. Races with Stuart Friesen. Friesen told me today, he said he can get it done. He's got a lot of talent. Went asphalt racing for a while, now back on the dirt and learning how to run some trucking. But you can see a lot of damage to Honeycutt's truck.
I'll tell you who else that races against Stewart up there that's going to be racing at Bristol next week. His wife.
Ah, yeah.
Jessica.
Jessica. It's going to be a family affair at Bristol.
Take a look and keep an eye on the 46, the black 46 there at the left side of your screen.
Oh, 3 wide at Martinsville.
Austin Wayne Self getting in there. That wasn't the 20 of Stoyer like I had thought initially. Here comes Stoyer. Oh yeah. So
nice
Stoyer
job.
didn't have any choice. Maybe a little bit of contact from that 20 truck, but the damage was already done.
Did a nice job, that truck turning right in front of his lap, right in his lap, and he was able to get by without any significant contact.
Tanner Gray got a little damage
in
that as well. There he is right there repairing that damage. We documented the fact that he had an air gun issue, lost a lap, got the free pass on this caution.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you mentioned that, Mike, about Stoyer avoiding the contact. Because, I mean, when you're a young driver making your first start in the series, just getting an opportunity to run all the laps is the most important.
Yeah, and he didn't panic.
Yep.
You know, he just relaxed. He let that spin develop and missed it.
AMR safety team doing its job, and we're back under caution at Martinsville.
fans, Jesse Punch here live once again from pit road at Martinsville Speedway. We just saw the 15 car of Tanner Gray bring it down pit road to serve that pit penalty. But he's not the only Gray in the field here tonight. His younger brother Taylor is also racing in the Truck Series, making his 6th career Truck Series start. Taylor is a regular in the ARCA Menard Series. He earned his first career win just this season a few weeks ago, back in a dramatic win for that team. And now here he is tonight making his first Truck Series start of the season. So both Gray brothers looking to make the Gray family proud out here at the Paperclip. Where did he have that win?
Back at Martinsville, Zane Smith won stage 1, Ben Rhodes won stage 2, a little Thursday night racing under the lights. Race number 5 of the season. Been coming here for a long time, every year of the series.
We talk about the beating and banging that we've seen here over the last couple of weeks. We're still a few laps away from seeing the major beating and banging.
Yeah,
you mean there's more to come?
Before you would want to be inside of a guy before you shove the issue. Now you're just going to be close and you're going to push the issue. There's the choose lane. See Byron and Crafton going to the bottom.
I mean, the bottom lane is obviously the preferred.
It's just how many rows do you want to give up? You know what I mean? Do you want to take the bottom at all cost? You know what I mean?
Well, how many rows back before you say, you know what, I'm just going to go to the top?
It's been pretty even. Like it's been pretty much just one to the inside, one to the out. Matt Crafton chose to go low, and so if I'm Chandler Smith, I go right where he goes. You can see the lead from there. You can see clear track. You get a great restart, and William Byron doesn't. Chandler Smith could be leading this race.
And you may just be ahead of him by a foot, and a caution come out again.
Blue-Emu race summary, you saw it there on the screen, and Zane Smith has led the most laps at 55, Ben Rhodes at 47. Right now, William Byron is out front in that blue number 7 truck on the inside for this restart.
What a start by Chandler, but you see how far William drove that 7 into the corner.
And it sticks too. That's the second time in a row he's been able to do that.
Crafton and Sauter on the inside line. Going to try to keep Chandler Smith outside. Oh, 3 wide. DiBenedetto on the outside. Lawless Allen in the middle. Somehow they all came out clean.
That is awesome. They sorted that out.
DiBenedetto and Derek Kraus now side by side for 13th.
All these positions inside the top 20 you saw back there. There's the battle for second. Crafton just trying to dig down to the inside, but he's going to slip off turn 4.
Remember, we heard Crafton say at the beginning of the night he wasn't going to be very friendly. He was tired of getting used up and run over through the first 4 races, and he was not going to be very accommodating tonight.
What about this statement Johnny Sauter's making?
A 13 truck that started 36th this race, battling up inside the top 5.
And that's Kyle Busch, who's gotten back into the party in 5th in the 51 truck. Bringing Stuart Friesen along.
Man, these guys are really battling hard, knowing that Williams' strategy has him in a good spot. Got to make up ground in a hurry.
Parker Kligerman in the 75, back just inside the top 20 with Haley Deegan and the 17 of Taylor Gray.
And they're going to be 3 wide. Oh, nice job by Haley around the top. Can she get in front of Gray? Yes.
Clear.
Nice move.
That
Nice
was
move.
awesome. That'll put her up to the 16th position.
She's held her own after they had that damage repaired from the contact with Johnny Sauter.
It's been a really solid race. Oh, trouble.
And the 20 of Dylan Stoyer making his series debut.
I don't believe she's going to get rolling.
No, not very smoothly, that's for sure. Heavy damage on the left front.
Well, Rose a little smoother than I thought, Vince, but a lot of damage you could see on both sides. I believe that'll do it for Stoyer tonight.
That's too bad. As you said earlier, Michael, highly regarded. Certainly those fans up in the Northeast familiar with Stoyer's success up there.
Chris Wright, a couple of issues tonight. Was he a part of that mess?
Most of that left side damage was done early. How about Zane Smith, guys? Remember, he had the penalty on pit road. He has only got up to the 22nd position here with 78 laps to go.
Final stage at Martinsville, but a lot of racing left. Don't go away. Welcome back to Martinsville, the Blue-Emu Maximum Pain Relief 200. How about some radio from Tyler Ankrum running 10th?
Close the bottom lane off so that they can't take that 1/8 of an inch. You give them 1/8, they're going to root you out of the way. Your truck is fine. You're a top 6 truck right here. They're going to try and gouge you, and that's where the fine line is keeping your fences clean and finishing the race versus being greedy.
Great stuff there from veteran spotter Eddie DeHaan.
And these young racers like Tyler, they lean on that advice as well. But that's when the problems start to happen, Phil. When somebody thinks they've got that 1/8 of an inch that Eddie was talking about. There you see a great view of our spotters up on the roof looking down on the action.
Sometimes they don't even need an 1/8 of an inch.
No, they don't have an 1/8, and they try to take an 1/8, and you close it off, and around you go.
Well, and for Ankrum, it's been a nice steady progression this season. His first year with Hattori Racing and crew chief Scott Zipadelli. The results have gotten better each and every race. 7th most recently at COTA, trying to improve on that tonight.
Setting inside the top 10 here as we go back racing at Martinsville.
That's William Byron on the inside and Johnny Sauter on the outside. Final stage, back to green.
A great 1 and 2 once again for William.
Chandler Smith on the inside in that third spot, taking a peek on Johnny Sauter with Kyle Busch right behind him. Matt Crafton in that neon yellow 88 in fifth.
A little bit of contact between Sauter and Chandler Smith.
Smith with that truck, he likes the way it turns in the center. It's going to make it loose up off, though, make it hard to pin it down and get this move completed on Johnny Sauter. Johnny's going to clear him.
Great exit.
You know, Sauter's not going to give much room. No points on the table for Sauter. It's just trophy. He wants another grandfather clock. He's already got 4 of them. Running that part-time schedule. It's all about the win.
There's that 16 truck that Eddie DeHaan was giving coaching to. He's on the outside of Derek Krause in the Napa number 19.
He's lost a few spots since the restart.
Going to be able to get down there behind Krause and just ahead of Haley Deegan as she continues to progress forward. Great run here for Haley.
Sauter in that 13. Just a couple of weeks ago when everybody else was at COTA racing, Sauter was in Georgia racing a late model for Richie Waters in the Georgia Spring Nationals. He may be away from the truck series, but he ain't away from the track.
Talk about a racing family now, led by Father Jim.
John Hunter down on the bottom trying to take that spot away from Friesen. He knows time is a ticking. If you're going to win a grandfather clock, you better get going right now.
I love that visor cam view too.
Checking the mirror, seeing what's out in front as well.
Mike, wouldn't you say though that for Nemechek, with the way his season started, granted he was second at COTA, but just with the way his season started, just another solid run. Oh, and Friesen is around Eckes.
Caution's out.
Well, that was Ben Rhodes
that 3 wide wasn't going to work, but Rhodes was on the bottom, Eckes was in the middle, and Friesen was up top, and they were all right there for 7th.
You got to give Rhodes a little bit of credit, though. He had more than 1/8 of an inch. He was in there a good 3, 4, 5 feet.
There's going to be some debate on what ruler you're using.
Several 100% more than 1/8 of an inch.
Yeah, I think he was well inside, and I think Eckes tried to hold him back.
Well, I think he tried to block him, because he was obviously way down towards the inside of the racetrack. But what a tough break for Stuart Friesen. Had another solid run going. John Leonard, his crew chief, talking to Stuart now.
Might as well come get some tires, wouldn't you think?
Absolutely, yeah. He's going to be at the back of the pack.
Eckes radio.
Hey, calm down, calm down. Hey, relax. We're still good. Relax. We're still good, buddy. Relax. Hey, the only way he's going to beat you is has to move you. You're way better than he is. We're still good here.
We should point out those 3 are teammates. We'll use the air quotes that Michael likes so much. Teammates at ThorSport.
You remember the top of the show, we talked about the Xfinity teammates, John Hunter and Ty Gibbs last week.
That's just a good solid move there for Eckes to get to the bottom, but watch what happens off too. Gets a little bit loose on the bottom, and who sees opportunity? Ben Rhodes.
And you see Eckes come all the way down a full lane to try to block. Then the contact was made, and unfortunately, Stuart Friesen pays the price.
Yeah, Rhodes and Eckes teammates, and there was contact there for sure. And poor Stuart Friesen got the worst of it.
J-Rod, his crew chief, was certainly trying to calm Eckes down, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think Eckes wasn't thrilled about the contact from Rhodes. I mean, that's 50-50, Phil. I don't really these days, this day and age, who to blame that on.
And to see if maybe Rhodes doesn't hit the curb here as well, that pops him up into.
Well, he was as low as he could go.
Get low here. Calls us out.
I think he hit
Calls us out.
Eckes and then the curb.
So how do you see that? Is Rhodes being over aggressive there, or is that just racing at short track?
I said the clock's a ticking and the laps are winding down, and the later it gets in the race, that's going to be more the norm, is just running into people. We see it every week with the truckers. They just are very aggressive. That's why so many people like watching them, seeing who's going to be the most aggressive and get away with it.
Well, Friesen was the victim of the little teammate shuffle there, and right behind Eckes and Rhodes, interestingly enough, was Majeski. And he was just about in it as well. And of course, next week, well, we'll see it again. A short track, a little different style on the dirt at Bristol.
You don't think there'll be any bump in there, do you?
That was such a fun race last year, and looking forward to going back again next week.
Easter weekend, racing on Easter Sunday night. Go to church, have a great day with the family, and then settle in and watch the NASCAR stars battle on the dirt. And by the way, that little hand of applause that was given there, that was
tongue in cheek, kind of.
That was not exactly serious. There's going to be some upset people when you go racing on the dirt. And what fun it was a year ago, man. I sat up in the grandstands and watched that Cup race. I mean, I just loved, my eyeballs couldn't figure out what to watch. They were just back and forth all over the racetrack. So much fun.
Yeah, the trucks will race there Saturday, and the Cup guys on Sunday night.
These are pressure-packed restarts, too. You know, Williams' team has put him in a position to control this race. He slips a tire, or Johnny Sauter gets a bit better start and squeezes him down. You got Kyle Busch right there on road 2 waiting to pounce.
Yeah, once William got clear of Johnny, he opened up about a 3/4 of a second lead, so he obviously has a fast truck. He's just vulnerable right here on these restarts from the side and behind.
Been a long time for both these guys up front. Byron last won a truck race in 2016. Sauter last won a truck race in 2019.
That's probably about the last time William was in a truck race, though, wasn't it?
He ran Nashville last
Yep.
year. That's the only race he's run since his 2016
He makes
season.
it a habit of winning in these trucks.
Yes, he does.
And when you've got Bono Mannion and Rudy Fugle on your pit box, it doesn't hurt your cause any, as is the case tonight for William.
Bunch of Cup wins for those two gentlemen.
Bunch of names, too.
There's a look at Rudy, who is Williams' Cup crew chief. And of course, they won the Cup race at Atlanta a few weeks back. And Bono on the right.
You see William open up now. He's 0.6 of a second lead over Johnny Sauter.
Michael, you called it early. You said you really like, well before William was at the front of the pack, you said you really liked the way his truck was rolling. What impressed you from the get-go with William Byron?
Just anytime you can see a guy with his left front corner of his truck lower than the rest on exit, that means he's got good turn and he can really steer it underneath the other competitors. And that's what I saw early with the 7 truck. He was just able to keep it lower and pin the gas down and not lose traction. That's impressive.
He was running 20th when Michael picked him out and said that truck may be the favorite.
Sauter continues to run second. Remember, Johnny Sauter is working with crew chief Junior Joyner, the longtime crew chief for Matt Crafton, who is Junior has stepped away from a full-time role with ThorSport, but is coming back to be the crew chief on a handful of Johnny's races this season.
And remember, started dead last as we have 3 wide again.
Oh, and DiBenedetto getting pushed out. Zane Smith working his way back up through the field just outside the top 10.
Those are the moves you got to make when you have a problem on pit road and get in the back. He was able to get 2 in 1 turn, and at Martinsville, that's huge. That 38 truck is still very, very strong. He talked about some brake issues, but right now I don't see it.
Remember, we talked about him 22nd on this last restart, as you mentioned, just outside the top 10.
John Hunter Nemechek running 6th. Getting a little impatient with Matt Crafton just ahead of him.
Hey, 56 laps to go. It's time. It's time. If you're going to use the bumper, it's time to use it now. You see him losing a little bit of touch with from his teammates, Kyle Busch and Chandler Smith.
Still 1-1, 66 to 99.
Well, and some might say, well, already? I mean, there's 50-some laps left, but once he gets past Crafton, then he's got to pass Kyle Busch, Chandler Smith, Johnny Sauter, and William Byron. You're running out of laps to pass those guys.
Exactly.
Battle for third, Kyle and Chandler Smith, teammates, of course, KBM.
It's all obviously Chandler's always trying to impress the boss, and the boss worked him over and got that position away. We'll see if he can get him back.
Kyle gets 5 races in the truck. This is his 3rd of 5. Going to break, but you won't miss a thing. Going to keep it side by side from Martinsville.
Race fans, Jesse Punch here live once again from the pits at Martinsville Speedway. This final stage is ticking down, and those two drivers battling for this win, William Byron and Johnny Sauter, neither of which are regulars in this series currently. Johnny Sauter running his, not running his first full-time season for the first time since 2008, but both of these guys know what it takes to win in a truck. Johnny Sauter, a 24-time winner in this series. William Byron, a 7-time winner. William hasn't been in victory lane since 2016, Johnny since 2019. Interestingly enough, the last time William Byron was running full-time in this series and winning in this series was 2016. The champion that year, the man right next to him, Johnny Sauter. Gonna be an interesting battle here through these last laps. Enjoy it.
Back at Martinsville, less than 50 to go. Camping World Truck Series, race number 5 of the season. And William Byron continues to lead, but this was an interesting confrontation going on here. John Hunter Nemechek running 6th. That's Matt Crafton just ahead of him. Crafton obviously holding him up, but look at all those trucks that have lined up behind Nemechek.
That's when you got issues. If you're Matt Crafton, you look in the rear mirror, he's able to gap John Hunter there a bit, but anytime you have that many trucks stacked up behind you, you can expect the bumper to be applied, the pressure to heat up as they race toward turn 3.
In the pylon there, you see the running order and when they last pitted. Pit stop's not an issue at this point, is it, Phil?
No,
as you see Rhodes and Nemechek.
Yeah, we see how hard it's been for Zane Smith, who's only worked his way back to 11th.
And he's flying. He's running some great lap times, but when you catch a pack of trucks like this, there just isn't anywhere to go.
Rhodes won stage 2. He runs 8th. Zane Smith won stage 1. He runs 11th as a caution has come out, and in the midst of all that smoke is the 0-2 of Jesse Little.
Jesse was up inside the top 20, having a nice second half of this race, but obviously turned around there off turn 2.
Boy, Chris Wright has
just about
had a tough night.
Used that Chevrolet up, hasn't he?
Nothing's gone right for Wright.
Did you have to do that, Michael?
I'm sorry.
You just couldn't hold it back.
I was going to go with everything's gone wrong for Wright, but then I pivoted. Unfortunate for that team. You see Little's around.
Don't know if maybe there was contact from the 30 of Tate Fogelman before we saw that shot. You see a lot of damage to the front of the 32 of Brett Holmes.
And Brett couldn't, and you could see Chris Wright could not see anything.
There was contact right there. You could see it from Tate Fogelman. And then Brett Holmes with nowhere to go runs in the back of Tate Fogelman.
And when Jesse lit that thing up, Phil, you know, you can't see through that smoke. Chris Wright had no idea where that truck was. Man, trouble for Austin Wayne Self in the 22. He'll have to come to pit road.
Pits are open and Zane Smith's coming with less than 50 to go.
I think this is a good move. He knows he was going to barely be able to get into the top 10. Why not put some new tires on? Maybe have a great restart, get 3 or 4 trucks at one time on a restart.
I don't know.
See what happens.
Awful late, Regan, for these guys to be giving up this precious track position. Are there still issues with the brakes, or is this just a strategy play?
Michael, just a strategy play at this point. Don't forget 2 wins in the bag right now, so you can try something different if you don't think you're going to win the race where you're at. The biggest issue now is no longer the brakes, but it's the left front. Feels like there's no grip on the left front core of that car or truck. It's too tight. Thinks maybe the splitter's hitting even a little bit right now.
Well, they made some adjustments to the rear there with the suspension. Saw that wrench go in the tailgate or the bed there.
Remember, he had a speeding penalty earlier tonight that cost him some track position, as you see the fire being put out on that Austin Wayne Self machine.
So many trucks on the lead lap. We've got 28 trucks on the lead lap now. So
yeah, that's a stretch there.
Not much time left.
Tough break for Self. He was just outside the playoff cut line. Had a good start to the season with a couple of top 10s. Needed another good result today to stay in the mix, but not going to work out the way he was hoping.
You gotta like Chris Lawson's energy though. Like we got wins.
Still burning from the camera, from the TV. You're probably.
Let's see if we can make something happen with Zane Smith. I think it's too late, too little, too late, but we'll see.
I think it'd be a stretch to even think he might be able to get back in the top 10, but maybe he'll learn something about that truck and learn something about these tires. And
well, the point Regan made, he's already got 2 wins in the bag, so why not roll the dice, even if it seems unlikely?
That's short track racing, isn't it? Right there, guys. You use every part of that truck you can. He scrubbed the Goodyear lettering off that right front, getting inside of Chandler Smith. John Hunter Nemechek riding around under caution. These laps are pretty long when you start to thinking about the laps running off and trying to get to victory lane.
You know, I'm typically not one that really takes much stock in going back to last year, but over the last 13 races, what John Hunter has done compared to the first 13, pretty stark, significant difference.
But he's run well. He just hasn't had any luck. Michael talked earlier about all the laps led and all the stage points he's got that has him up in the top 10 in points.
Yeah, coming into this race, he'd led the most laps. He'd, had the best average running position, but just had not gotten the finishes. And at least tonight, he is running right there around the top 5, currently in that 6th spot.
And I was talking about caution laps. He wants to go. You can see where he's been going. He's been going right to the back of that 88 truck. But these laps winding off, John Hunter knows if he's going to win this race, he's got to make some ground. And that's why the urgency picks up so much as we run these laps off. They know it's time to go.
Well, and isn't this the best opportunity on a restart?
Absolutely. Absolutely. He has beat the rear bumper off that Menards Toyota.
So for some of these drivers, that caution was really a blessing because they want an opportunity to get bunched up and have a chance to make a move for position.
Yeah, whoever restarts third here is going to look at this as an opportunity to try to grab second. Now, will Johnny Sauter, who's running second now, will he go to the outside or will he stay on the inside behind William Byron to hold that inside line?
Ooh. I like going up beside the leader and giving it a shot, but you could also get behind the leader and give him a shot and see if you can push him up out of the way.
But look who that guy running in third, that 51 truck of Kyle Busch. You know that if Johnny Sauter chooses the outside, you know Kyle's going to close that hole up right quick. If he's not able to do anything with William Byron, there's probably not going to be a slot to get in.
Impressive for Johnny to have a couple of races off. You talked about Vince running some super late models, but to get in this truck, the successes he's had here at Martinsville and to be in a position to win again, it's pretty impressive.
Kyle Busch, we mentioned that he gets 5 races as a Cup driver. He gets 5 in the Camping World Truck Series, and this is race number 3 of 5. He ran at Vegas and also at COTA. He'll run at Charlotte and then Sonoma. But you see, he finished second at Las Vegas. He finished third at COTA. And you got to go back to 2012, the last time Kyle didn't win a race in a truck. And
see, 8 wins at Charlotte. He's pretty good at Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty good everywhere. So we'll see. We'll see if he can get it done. He's certainly in a good position here tonight, sitting in that 3rd spot.
What about this 7 truck? You know, we talk about how good William Byron is, but this team has put together a great race truck for William to go out here and have a little bit of fun with. We saw Bowman last time out in the trucks at COTA nearly get a win. See if William can pull it off.
There will be 36 to go as they cross the line. William Byron and Johnny Sauter up front.
William has been so good through that corner right there.
And look at that truck just jump out to the lead. Sauter sliding in front of Kyle Busch for second.
That was a huge corner for Johnny Sauter, able to hold off Kyle Busch.
He found that slot to get in, didn't he?
How about KBM teammates Chandler Smith and John Hunter Nemechek? They've had a squabble or 2 this season.
And Chandler runs up the hill a bit into the side of not John Hunter, but a nice run off for that 4 truck.
So Nemechek finally has gotten around Matt Crafton, and it is a log jam in the middle of the pack. Stuart Friesen right there in the blue 52 with Purdy and Gray behind him challenging.
And right behind all this mess, Zane Smith with those fresh tires. He's just looking for somewhere to go with all the speed he's got. And there's a block. Not to be, though. Wow.
Yeah, I think at this point, Zane Smith says don't even think about blocking me. I won't follow you one corner.
Tanner Gray there, just ahead of Smith.
Look at Zane get inside the 61 of Chase Purdy.
And wow, does he ever drive down into the corner.
That puts him up to the 16th spot. We said it would be a stretch to get inside the top 10. He's headed towards the top 15 right here.
That's Tanner Gray in the 15 just ahead of it.
Tanner's had a rough night, hasn't he? But is able to stabilize inside the top 15. Good run so far for that Jerry Baxter-led truck.
Friesen's going to move Kligerman out of the way. And they get inside.
.30 to go at Martinsville. You won't miss a thing. Every lap, side by side, for the Camping World Truck Series. .25 laps to go and counting, and it doesn't take long around this short track here at Martinsville, especially when you've got clean space in front of you, as the 7 of William Byron does. Byron has been out front for 70 laps, and right now he is leading the charge by more than a second. Johnny Sauter, and then a trio of KBM trucks, Kyle Busch, John Hunter Nemechek, and Chandler Smith filling out the top 5.
What a job Johnny Sauter has done this race. First race working with Junior Joiners. We see Ben Rhodes make the pass on teammate Matt Crafton.
That's for 6th.
Ben Rhodes so fast early. Strategy got him caught in the back, but he's starting to make some good ground now late in the running, and as is Zane Smith. He's in the top 10 now.
How about that with over 20 laps to go.
And just picking them off about a truck a lap, it seems.
Pitted 20 laps ago for tires, and thought for sure that might give him a chance to get into the top 10. Not likely a chance to win at that late stage, but how far up can he go?
Well, he's very aggressive on entry, and I think the spotters are all calling down and saying if he gets there You better let him go because he's going to dive in. See if he can do the same thing to Nemechek here.
Camping World, 20 to go. 20 laps remaining here at Martinsville.
Just ahead, Grant Enfinger just looking for a solid, normal night. Been a bit of a tough start to the season for this 23 truck of Enfinger.
Grant, listen, all 4 corner fans on, then you can turn your brake switch.
You just have to balance what you've got. He's charging so hard. He's trying to get to the finish of the race. He just needs to understand that he has options inside of that cab to make some adjustments to the brakes in case there must have been some issue about him complaining about the brakes.
Yeah. I think he wants to cool down the tires, all 4 tires, as much as he can.
And with, as we mentioned early in the show tonight, Enfinger outside the playoff cut line. Long time to go until the playoffs, obviously, but still, for security purposes, you'd rather be above that line. And with a good solid run today, Enfinger's going to be in a lot better position as he's inside the top 10 again.
And we know this is too good a team, too good a driver to stay down there below that cut line for long.
This
Rhodes
99 truck is rolling.
And Chandler Smith for 5th.
That's a little bit of the honk of the horn, if you will. I'm here and I'm faster. And he's going to dive in and try to take that spot. Nice run there by Ben. That's a textbook short track pass. Give a guy a little bit of bump, say I'm better than you, give me some space, and then he takes the spot away.
And a nice job by Chandler Smith recognizing that. He could have fought for that position. They would have made contact, maybe one or both of them spin out, but he realized that Ben Rhodes had chased him down, and with 15 laps to go, he was going to beat his rear bumper off if he had to. So I think a heads-up move by Chandler Smith.
Ben with another solid day, defending series champion.
I mean, this would be his 4th top 5 of the season in 5 races if he stays in this position or improves it at all.
I think William Byron opens up a 3/4 of a second to a second lead, and then he just rides. I think he's just running a really, really smart race.
For 11th, Kraus and Ankrum. Solid run for both of these guys. Oh, a little contact there getting into the corner.
That's the problem with a little bit of contact. You slip and slide, and next thing you know, you're not just losing 1 spot, you're losing 3 or 4. As Christian Eckes bears down on the back of these 2.
And Friesen right there behind Eckes as well.
Yeah, Eckes and Friesen just looking for an opportunity, and Matt DiBenedetto there in the blue and white 25 would jump on a chance as well. Creeping in closer to 10 to go. No pressure for William Byron. Still leads out front by a second.
Eckes has a nose in there. He's beside Kraus.
Remember 52 of Friesen went for a spin a little bit earlier, and here comes Matt DiBenedetto trying to squeeze to the bottom.
Boy, if you just get up off that corner a little bit.
1/8 of an inch is what we've been told.
That's what we understand, yeah.
So hard, though, when the guy pinches you down off the corner to get that gas pedal down. Stewart's fighting very hard to keep that spot away.
10 laps remaining. Nemechek runs 4th.
Even, plus a little on the late leave.
Nemechek, pretty daunting task trying to chase down the boss man, Kyle Busch.
And how much do you rough up your boss? That's a good question to ask yourself, isn't it? Check out this right front brake rotor, or left front, excuse me, on Chandler Smith. That's a lot of heat there, isn't it, Phil?
Sure is.
And that just doesn't help the handling, because that heat transfers to that tire, blows it up, and the truck doesn't want to turn like it once would.
Yeah, builds the air pressure and just compounds the problem, the issues.
It's been a good season for Chandler Smith, and a good season for Stewart Friesen as well. And Friesen, even though he's not getting the results certainly that he would like to get tonight, just inside the top 15. 3 straight top 10s coming into this race, and they've been solid, but not quite as good tonight. But as you said, they got spun, and that cost him a significant amount of track position, or we'd probably see Friesen well inside the top 10 at this point.
And if you're William Byron, you're just wanting everybody just to mind their business. Don't be calling any spins. That's going to bring out a caution where you have to go battle for a late overtime finish. He's just on cruise control right now, like you mentioned, Phil. Just wants everybody to keep their trucks pointed in the right direction.
Amazing job by William as a driver, but we have to give a lot of credit to Bono Mannion, Mike Gricci, the guys. It's a brand new team. They've only raced, what, twice before this year? Runner-up finish, as Michael said, at Coda last time out for Alex Bowman. And dominating certainly the end of this race here. William Byron already led 89 laps.
Yeah, it's nice to have guys like Bowman and Byron in your trucks, for sure, as you see William there. And got a lapped vehicle between he and Sauter.
We say a lot. There's a reason these guys race on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes. And with this young man, when he showed up at 16 years old, we predicted not only he would race on Sunday, he would win on Sunday. Just that much talent from the first time we watched him race a truck.
3 laps remaining. Byron down the backstretch, and as Phil mentioned, you just don't want to caution right now if you're William Byron. You don't want to have to do it on a restart and take the chance of somebody getting you. 2 laps remaining. A mile left for William Byron.
Wait, just let me see that white flag. Then these guys can do whatever they want. Just let me get to this white flag.
What an impressive run it has been with Bono Mannion and Rudy Fugle on top of the box, guiding the way for William Byron in the final lap. It's been a long time since he's run any sort of regularity in the Truck Series, back to 2016 where he won 7 times. He is back tonight, and he is back in victory lane. William Byron wins at Martinsville.
Picked up right.
Good job, guys. Good job, Bono. Great job.
That was really
Awesome
beautiful.
job, guys. Great job. Thanks, Bono. Thanks.
Winning feels so good, especially at this historic Martinsville.
He gets him a clock.
Half mile, get a clock out of the deal, be able to hug his team, and just so thankful for the opportunity to race here in NASCAR.
It's amazing, you know, I mean, he didn't even start racing till 2012. I mean, it's, you know, he showed up on the scene in the Truck Series in 16 and rattled off 7 wins. Went to the Cup Series.
You deserve all the credit here, buddy. Great job with a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication.
We are going crazy with the lighting.
I think that's intentional, bro.
It's not a short?
I don't think so.
You know what's funny, Vince? I've told this story before. He went to high school with my daughter, and she called me one day and she said, "There's a kid in my class that races NASCAR, Dad. Is he any good?" I said, "Well, it's a little too early to tell, honey." And after he ran about 2 truck races, I called her up and said, "Yes, yes, he's really good."
Yeah, it didn't take long to see the talent of William Byron, which we mentioned a little while ago, won a few weeks back in the Cup car at Atlanta. And he'll run the Cup car again here Saturday night at Martinsville.
I can't wait to watch those Cup cars here. They're built for this race.
Absolutely.
Big old brakes, a lot of grip on the exit. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch come Saturday night.
That might be one of our contenders right there Sunday night. I would guess he would be.
And look who's right there with him. Regan Smith, our team, Fox Sports NASCAR coverage.
Cameraman Jake Blau down there with Regan, and waiting for William to get off the helmet, and we'll hear from the winner, his 8th Truck Series victory, and he did it in style tonight here at Martinsville. Regan.
William Byron, 8th career Truck Series victory. I got to tell you what, though, not many of them looked as dominant as this one. You hop in the truck from 32nd to 1st, it looked like a perfect night.
Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. Thanks. Great crowd here at Martinsville. I've never won a race at Martinsville, and struggled here when I was in late models, and yeah, just awesome to get the win tonight. You know, it's a great truck, HendrickCars.com, Chevrolet. Thanks to Spire, all the guys back at their shop. You know, they don't have a lot of guys, but they do it right, obviously. So it was fun to work with Bono, have a little help from Rudy. Obviously, he knows the trucks really well, and yeah, just awesome. Thanks to Mr. H for letting me come do it. Cool to get the win in, you know, his paint scheme, and pretty awesome. I'm excited.
William Byron, your winner in Martinsville.
Coming home second place here at Martinsville. What more did you need there tonight to get the win?
I told Joyner today, I said, don't listen to me when I give you feedback on the first run, and I called for an adjustment, and I shouldn't have. I thought we fired off tremendous and just got a little too tight there in the 2/3 mark part of the corner. So can't thank all the guys at ThorSport. It's a brand new Protect the Harvest Toyota Tundra. And first in-house chassis, in-house body for ThorSport. So to come home second was pretty solid. Joyner and Bud, those guys are studs, and just can't thank everybody at the shop enough. This was fun to come out here and do that. I just needed a little bit more turn, and I wish I wouldn't have called for that, but I did. So all in all, a solid night. It was fun to be back.
And when will we see you again in the truck?
Hopefully sooner rather than later. So if it's going to run like this, it's fun. So I'm hoping Texas.
Second place finish for Johnny Sauter here tonight.
Very nice run for Sauter, and as we've talked about throughout the course of the night, he started at the very back as you see Lawless Allen and Haley Deegan.
They both
having some words.
Finished inside the top 20, Vince, 19th and 20th for Deegan and Allen, and they have a difference of opinion.
There's a lot of that on a short track, though, right?
Oh, yeah. And obviously, we saw and documented the fact that Johnny Sauter and Haley got together early on and put Haley in the outside wall.
Yeah, and I want to, in Johnny Sauter's defense on him calling for an adjustment that he told Junior not to let him call for, he warned Junior. He said, don't let me make any decisions.
So if Junior did it, it's his fault.
That's really Junior's fault. I'm going to side with the driver in that case.
John Hunter Nemechek finished 4th, Josh.
Yeah, 2 straight top 5 finishes for John Hunter Nemechek. Really feel like the team's starting to round into shape right now?
Yeah, I definitely feel like we're starting to get some momentum back on our side. Definitely wanted to win tonight, but overall, really solid finish for our Mobile 1 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. So we haven't changed our process. We're just believing in it and sticking with it. And to have a second place at COTA and now come home with a 4th, I guess it is, something like that, is starting to get a little bit of momentum. So just trying to run up front more and more. We've been fast. We've had the speed, just haven't had the finishes to start the year. So hopefully we get some more momentum rolling on our side leading into Bristol next week and then into the summer stretch.
4th place finish here tonight for John Hunter Nemechek.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be long until we see the winner interview being done with John Hunter. I mean, I still think he's going to get his share. But tonight is William Byron's night. And the victory by Byron doesn't change the playoff leaderboard too much since he's a full-time competitor in Cup, but you see Matt Crafton has jumped from below the cut line to above the cut line, and Infinger has moved up toward the line as well, so he improved on his position.
It's tight right around that line, isn't it? And believe me, these competitors will look at that repeatedly between now and when we get to Bristol. You try to look at it and make it change when it's that close. You study it very much.
Well, I think when you're talking about 9th through 14th, because I think DiBenedetto is going to shrink that 25-point deficit. So, I mean, there's a lot of really good racers in that group right there that's hovering around the cut line. Going to be fun, that's for sure. Back downstairs to Regan.
Well, Vince, it was a strong night for Ben Rhodes coming home in 5th. But, Ben, it looked like this truck, it needed long runs. The longer it ran, the better it seemed like it got.
Yeah, no, that's an accurate statement. We were racing the stages tonight. We wanted to get the points because we wanted to come out of here with the points lead or at least tighten up the gap to first. I'm hoping we have it now. I don't know if you can tell me that, but I'm hoping we have it. We ran the smartest race we could, still got a top 5. I'd call it a success for our tinted Toyota Tundra. But, man, if we didn't have the stages, I think we could be doing burnouts right now. Just a bad, fast Tundra.
Nice job, Ben.
Solid effort from Ben Rhodes, and really worked on that. We talk about strengthening the playoff position, and Rhodes has certainly done that. He's done everything but win. But I think we got a lot of what we expected tonight. A lot of full contact racing. Kyle Busch didn't win. We talked about that before the race, that he was going to have plenty of challengers, and he did indeed.
Well, isn't it interesting this year? We've seen him come out, have trouble-free races, be up front, but not able to get to victory lane. I think our truckers have stepped up. Obviously, tonight, William Byron, a fellow Cup star, took the victory, but Johnny Sauter right there on Williams' bumper and holding off Kyle Busch. So used to when Kyle would start a truck race, we would say, All right,
It's automatic. It's
who's going to
automatic.
run second? That's not the case anymore, and I think that speaks so well to the talent that is in the Truck Series.
But how about what's coming next week?
Bristol, baby.
Bristol on dirt.
And we look forward to that. And of course, it'll all begin with race day next Saturday at 7 o'clock, and then we'll go racing on the dirt at 8.
You know, guys, what's amazing, it's really hard for somebody to jump in a truck. William Byron ran one truck race since his rookie season in 2016, and you've got a part-time team that he's jumping in. For those guys to be as competitive as they are and to get this win in dominating fashion, really, especially the second half of the race, is pretty amazing.
And you know what I love, Vince? It's just starting.
Yep.
It's going to be a weekend of great racing on Fox, and looking forward to every lap here at the historic Martinsville track.
Yeah, you saw the menu on the screen a moment ago. The Xfinity Series tomorrow and the Cup Series on Saturday. But tonight it belonged to the trucks, and it belonged to William Byron, who won for the first time in his career at Martinsville. Take home that grandfather clock. For Josh Sims and Regan Smith, Michael Waltrip, Phil Parsons, I'm Vince Welch. Congratulations, William Byron, on the win at Martinsville.